In the stunning wilderness area of southwest Wyoming, near the Bridger Wilderness Area, lies a little bit of dude ranch heaven. As if ranch ambassadors, antelope, deer, and elk greet visitors on their way to the adventure of a lifetime. Welcome to Lozier's Boxar Ranch. On a working ranch, the days begin early, and the wranglers head out at dawn's first light to bring in the horses that have been out roaming the pastures for the night. Rounding them up and bringing the Bermuda back to the stables. Guests always enjoy seeing the herd come running back to the stables in the morning. The ranch scout keeps a sharp lookout for the approaching herd. Besides having the adventure of a lifetime, the safety of both horse and rider is the #1 goal at the Boxar Ranch. Before anyone gets on their horse, the staff conducts a thorough orientation of the guests on how to work with, approach, groom, pick feet, saddle, and bridle their respective horses. Riders are carefully matched with a horse commensurate with their personal riding experience. Whether you're a beginner or seasoned rider, the ranch will provide you with a pleasurable and well-matched horse for the week.
When we're positioning the sword from the blanket being a little short on the back or the saddle sliding back a little bit, but it's real easy, and I was explaining to Hank.
Ranch owner and your host, Irv Lozier, takes a strong personal interest in ensuring that his guests have a thorough orientation in both safety and riding skills. Now, in Wyoming, you can have overcast skies, thunder, rain, hail, snow, and sunshine all in the same hour. And true to Wyoming weather, the skies cleared up by the time the guests were ready to head out to the range. All guests receive instruction on how to mount, rein, and control your horse under saddle. They want to be certain each guest is both confident and comfortable with riding their selected horse. But the instruction doesn't end once you leave the barn. The staff will conduct one-on-one trotting, loping, and cantering instruction to ensure riders are becoming comfortable and proficient with their own horse. Why, if you remember Bonanza, you might think this was the Cartwright clan coming towards you. Then it's off for a leisurely trail ride through the surrounding hills of the ranch. After returning to the ranch, the horses are unsaddled, groomed, and are ready for dinner before turning out to the pasture for the night.
I'm Irv Lozier. I own the Box R Ranch at the head of the Willow Creek Valley in western Wyoming. It's tributary to the Green River Valley, and my family's been here about 100 years. Of the 200 or 300 qualified guest ranches where they actually work at taking care of people, we're probably one of 5 or 6 in the 200 or 300 available that try to offer people a true Western ranch and family ranch experience. Our limit on guests is between 15 and 20, mostly adult only, mostly open country, good horses, ride, saddle, please yourself with your horse. We have 100 head or 110 head of horses, counting unbroke stock, that we try to select horses to fit everyone's absolute desires. We've had guests spend a week here and change horses every day or every afternoon or every morning until they find the one they want. That is our pleasure, giving a person a horse that they love. That and the open space, ride beside me, not behind me, pleasure brings us to a special place in guest ranch business. Several things, liberties offered here you can't find in other ranches. If you come here and you enjoy your riding and you and your wife would like to take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and ride up to your favorite little spot where you were a week ago and sit in the flowers and have your sandwich, that's your choice. Very few ranches allow you to do that. That's probably why we're still in business. We give people liberties that they can't find at other ranches.
The Box R limits the number of weekly guests to about 20, so you'll feel like you have the ranch to yourself and a few new friends. You can stay in the nostalgic 40s vintage cabins with all modern amenities or stay uptown in the newer log cabins. Almost immediately, you'll get a sense that not a lot has changed here at the Boxar Ranch. And that's just the way they like it. Some rooms adjoin a social or reading room where guests can enjoy a crackling fireplace and make new friendships in the comfort of their log cabin. Sumptuous meals are served family style in the ranch dining room, where hearty entrees, a full salad bar, and awesome pastries and desserts are part of the daily fare. Scenic sunrise breakfasts, sunset beach cookouts, and barbecues are meals you will long remember after your stay. Guests are summoned to the dining hall by the ringing of the bells. Which can literally be heard throughout Wyoming.
We've seen, first and foremost, just beautiful country. We've rode to the top of mountains, looked down into valleys where there's giant lake. We've pushed cattle out of mountains and down into the valleys. And we've seen antelope running freely through the woods, and we've seen a moose on top of the hill, and the snow-capped mountains. It's all just so beautiful, and we're having such a great time. It's different, it's relaxing, it's work at the same time, but it's fun. It's something that most people will only do once in a lifetime, and you don't have to be a horse expert or a cattle expert to do it. They basically show you things you need to know, and the horses are well trained. And you meet a lot of good people, and you just have a good time. It's different than going to the beach or going to the ski slopes. It's just something that I've always wanted to do. And if someone was to look into it and do it, I think that they would really enjoy it also.
If you're like most of the guests, you came here for horseback riding, cattle work, and awesome scenery and adventure. And each day they'll make sure you get plenty of it. On this frosty morning, the horses are rounded up for a spectacular ride up the mountains to catch the rising sun. Overnight, the mountain peaks in the distance receive a blanket of snow. The guests move part of the horse herd out on the range, and then loosen up a bit with a leisurely canter up the hill through the frost-covered brush. Greeting the morning sun peering over the hilltops. As they make their way to nearly 9,000 feet, Herb spots a mare in the herd that he wants to take back to the ranch, so guests get to see some genuine cowboy roping skills. now. They could be in a cubicle somewhere after fighting morning traffic, in a windowless office under pale fluorescent lights all day. But this week, they're a working ranch hand, moving horses across the range, cattle over the hills, enjoying rustic accommodations and hearty fresh-cooked meals, making new friends from all over the country, and having the adventure of their lives. Does it get any better than this?
This is my fourth visit to Lozier's Box R Ranch, and I just love it here. I'm from the Twin Cities area, just northwest of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. And this place feels like home. You know, they say that feelings are the language of the soul. And a place like this just kind of calls you from the heart. I would recommend a vacation like this to anybody that's really searching for that sense of authenticity. Good food, good people, good horses, and most of all, absolutely spectacular country. You get to hear the bugling of the elks and see cattle and antelope and moose. You know, it's really what all of America fell in love with. It's the romance of the West here. You know, I think at some point in everyone's life, you stop looking for things outside yourself and you begin to look for things inside. A place like this, it opens up your heart. It makes you remember who you really are. When we come here, it's like we get back to the foundation. You really see where our food comes from. You see how hard people work. You see the values that our country was built on. You see the romance of the Old West. And you see that there are so many really hardworking people out here with that wonderful work ethic who still rely on the tools and the values that our country was built on. For me, this is a place that I really renew my spirit. And I go back home encouraged. I go back home feeling like, you know, it's all right. There's not much we can't do.
I probably had a hard time understanding what brought people to my place until I started to analyze what we were doing that meant something to them or would entice them to be here. And the first thing is connecting with yourself. There's not a telephone, there's not a TV, there's nothing but the stars at night and the peace and quiet and the wide open spaces. And believe it or not, a really good horse, as these little children that come from the Yellowstone Boys and Girls Ranch will tell you. They show up here and 4 days later they cry because they have to leave their horse. That communication between a horse and a person in a wide open space where you can do as you please or your horse can do as he pleases and help you do what you need to do will create a bond that's very indefinable. I would rather get up at daylight or before and go wrangle at daylight or sunup or ride around in the hills here, or lope around in the hills first thing in the day. It makes your whole day, makes your whole life better. The most special attraction to the Box R is good horses, good staff, and a genuine feeling that you're joining a family and not going to a resort. We ask folks to come and join us like a family, sit at our table, share our pleasures morning and evening, talk to us like they were part of our family and not a client. I think that's probably what makes us unique.
There is something special about being out with your horse, working the range, seeing unsettled and unspoiled scenery, seeing a lazy hawk overhead, wildlife in their habitat, watching the sun rise over the mountains on a crisp Wyoming morning, and hearing nothing but the wind as nature surrounds you. If you think you've lost touch with the important things in life, then an adventure at the Box R Ranch will help you find them again. Irv, the Wranglers, and staff that all make the Box R Ranch the special place it is invite anyone interested in the adventure of a lifetime to contact them for more information. Everyone dreams of being a cowboy or a cowgirl. Live your dream at the Box R Ranch.